How's it going, y'all? Welcome back to Bible Talk, where we simply read the Bible and read the Bible simply. Today, I just want to read a little bit of Matthew 13, starting in verse 47, and don't know where I'll stop, but at least I want to start there. Once again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was let down into the lake and caught all kinds of fish. When it was full, the fishermen pulled it up on the shore. Then they sat down and collected the good fish in the basket, but threw the bad away. This is a very sobering couple of verses right here, because it's saying at the end of the age, the angels are going to separate the good from the bad. And Jesus has a bunch of parables that are like this. And as a fisherman myself, I love fishing. And so one thing I love about fishing is catching a bunch of different types of fish. But anybody who likes fishing knows that when you're going after a certain type of fish and you catch what we call a garbage fish, you just throw it back. Or if it's an invasive fish, like if it's a fish that causes a lot of problems, you can actually get money for killing it. And so I like fishing parables. This is how it will be at the end of the age. And the angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous and throw them into the blazing furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Have you understood all these things? Jesus asked. And yes, they replied. I'm sure they could understand everything Jesus was saying, just like we all do, right? I think more likely they just didn't want to admit that they didn't understand everything Jesus was saying. I can relate to that. He said to them, "Therefore, every teacher of the law who has become a disciple in the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a new house, or a owner of a house who brings out of his storeroom new treasures as well as old." So this is saying, in my opinion, the teachers, once they become a disciple in heaven, they're going to take what they knew and add to it new things from Jesus, the new things they're learning through his word, through his teachings, and through his miracles. And so they're going to teach what they have been teaching, but also teach it in a new way and much more, the new treasures that are coming to them as they are studying the words of Jesus. When Jesus had finished these parables, he moved on from there. Coming to his hometown, he began teaching the people in their synagogue, and they were amazed. I wish I could have been in that room. I wish I could have listened to the words of Jesus in person. That would have been such an amazing thing to be a part of. I mean, we're all blessed because we have the Bible, so we have the stories, but man, how cool would it have been to be there in person? "Where did this man get this wisdom and these miraculous powers?" they asked. "Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother Mary, and aren't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Aren't all his sisters with us? Where then did this man get all these things?" And they took offense at him. Sometimes it's hard to go back to where you came from and try to open up about your transformation. You know, a lot of times people get this idea of you, especially if they've been raised around you, and once they see what God has done for you and through you, it's hard for people to believe that it's true, because they know your life. They know where you've been, where you came from, the mistakes you've made. And Jesus, what's interesting is Jesus lived a perfect life. So they should have seen, even as a child, that he was somebody different, somebody miraculous. But yet, because they know his family, they took offense at him, because they saw this kid raised by this family where, his mom had, Mary had him, got pregnant with him before she was married. She saw, I'm sure Jesus' siblings were not perfect. They probably envied Jesus. And it's just hard for people to accept things that they can't understand. At least that's how I think about it, which is very sad because oftentimes the people you want to reach the most are the peoples who will reject you first or reject what God has done for you first. And that's a very sad thing. But Jesus said to them, a prophet is not without honor except in his own town and in his own home. And he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith. It's such a sad story because it's not that he didn't want to. People often want to see miracles in order to build their faith, but God said that's not how it works. You need to have faith in order to see the miracles. And Jesus is powerless here because of their lack of faith in who he is and what he says, and the lack of faith in him as the sent one because they know his family. And so I think that's a great reminder that miracles don't produce faith. I think faith produces miracles. I think I'll stop there, but I appreciate your time. I love Scripture. I love to read it simply and to think about it simply and just give my little 2 cents. But yeah, until next time.